Welcome to Gasman Garri's Garage. This episode we're going to be covering how to make plug wires. Now I lucked out. I found an old 2-button mouse and I stripped out all the wire. You can see it there. And I have the heat shrink because I do a lot of electrical work on vehicles that I'm rebuilding and stuff. So you take the heat shrink tube. You want to get a clothespin or alligator clips, or I use hemostats. And you're going to put a little dab of glue on one end of it. And you're going to put that clip on, squishing it up into the middle. Then, as you see here, you're going to poke all your wires in. Now these wires, I messed up badly. They're way too short. So when I get to actually installing it, it's not going to be the green. Now I went with the red wire. You're going to cut it off, real short stub that's all glued together. And you want to make sure it's glued in tight. Otherwise, you can put glue on the bottom to seal it up real good. Now, I took the distributor, snipped the top off, drilled a hole in. I took a punch, heated it, and I poked holes where the plugs go. Now, clean up the edge with X-Acto. If it's on the block, you're going to repaint. This is chrome, so it's kind of tough to cover it. You're going to take your bundle, you're going to glue it into that distributor. Let that cure fully because you're going to be yanking on it and pulling wires and everything. So that's the top of your distributor. And then you're going to paint that black. Now you're going to take your heat shrink, you're going to put it on the wire. You're going to leave I leave more than this, actually, about 1/2 inch to a 3/4 inch. And then you put the tube on, and you can't glue it before if you're going to use like a lighter. So I heat it up, and I'll put a dab of glue here, the super glue. I'm using Loctite super glue gel. That keeps this from sliding up and down the heat shrink tube. Next, you're going to push that wire into that hole, put a little glue there. I use modeler glue. And you push that down in, take tweezers and shove it in. And then you're going to set it perfectly straight and put a little dab of super glue right on the side to hold it in place while the glue dries. Now on the second wire, you're going to get it all shaped. I mean, you see I got it shaped very similar to the first wire. And you shove it down in. If it's too long, clip it off. Make sure you got at least 3/4 inch or so to go in, because that's going to hold it in place. Now I take a magic marker and I mark right where I want the heat shrink to go. And then I'll pull that back out. I'll put the heat shrink tube on and I'll shrink it down. Dab of glue on the bottom to keep it from sliding. Now when I push it back in, I grab it above the heat shrink on the wire. I push it down in and touch the super glue on the side. 10 seconds holding it straight to make sure it lines up. And that way you can get a nice shape. And these wires, when I bend them, they stay where they're bent, which is what I really wanted. So you get them all in there. Now, I should have put a straight edge beside them to make sure they're all perfectly straight, because I've got a few crooked ones in there. But it's so small, it's hard to really tell when you look at it. But when you get in close, now you see the crooked one. That guy right on the left, the third one in, on the right. They're pretty lined up, but that first one's off at the far end. But that's how I create my own plug wires, so I don't have to run out all the time and buy those $6 kits. My cost was more in the beginning because of the heat shrink tube, but I needed it for other things, so, you know, hard to figure the cost. Thank you for watching Gasman Garri's Garage, and I'm going to do a few more of these showing how I do some of the stuff. There may be easier ways or better ways, but this is just kind of what I figured out on my own. Thank you.